Okay. So till yesterday we have completed alveoli, right? Now from today we will continue next, that is our lungs. The lungs are located in the chest on either side of the heart. The lungs are a pair of spongy air-filled organs in the thoracic cavity. Okay, so lungs are located at the thoracic cavity, either side of heart, means both side of heart. Each lung is conical or triangular in shape. Okay, you can see here the picture. Each lung is like a cone or triangular in shape almost. And each lung is covered by pleura. Okay, each lung is covered by pleura. Now, apex is near clavicle. You can see here the apex of both lung are near clavicle, and the base rests on diaphragm. We have already seen and discussed about the structure, function, and location of diaphragm in muscular system, right? So, diaphragm was separating which two cavities?
Abdominal and thoracic.
Yes, very good. So, above diaphragm, that is thoracic cavity, and thoracic cavity is filled by lungs and heart. So, these lungs are resting on diaphragm. Okay. Then each lung is divided into lobes by fissures. Means each lung is divided into different lobes. So our right lung is comparatively larger than left lung because heart is there. Heart is slightly tilted towards left. So as right lung is a bit larger, that is why it is having a more lobe in comparison to left. Left lung is having two lobes and right lung is having three lobes. Okay. So here is a comparison between both. Length is shorter of right lung, and length of left lung is longer, a bit longer. Width is wider for right, narrower for left. Lobes are three in right, two in left. What are those? Upper, middle, and lower for right, upper and lower for left. Fissures are oblique fissures and horizontal fissures. Okay, you can see here in the picture, horizontal fissure is dividing upper lobe and middle lobe, and oblique fissure is dividing middle lobe and lower lobe or inferior lobe. And in left lung there is only one fissure dividing the left lung into two, that is oblique fissure, which divides into superior and inferior lobe or upper and lower lobe. Now, cardiac notch is absent in right lung. Obviously, heart is tilted towards left only. So, a cardiac notch you can see in the left lung. A clear curve in left lung you can see due to heart, that is cardiac notch. Okay, so this is the primary information about lungs. Now, we will discuss about very important topic, muscles of breathing. Which muscles are helping in our breathing process? So at first, intercostal muscles. 11 pairs of intercostal muscles occupying the space between 12 pairs of ribs. These intercostal muscles are located in between the ribs. So, in both left and right side, there are 11 pairs of intercostal muscles arranged in two layers. First is internal intercostal and second is external intercostal. Okay, internal intercostal and external intercostal. So let me clear the concept of internal and external. The inner lining or inner wall of these intercostal muscles are made by internal intercostal muscles, and the outer layer or the outer side muscles of these intercostal muscles are external intercostal muscles. Okay. Now, next is diaphragm. We have already discussed so much about diaphragm earlier. So you all know better diaphragm. So here is only mentioned that dome-shaped muscular structure separating thoracic and abdominal cavities. Other things you all know. It is separating abdominal and thoracic cavity. It has only one opening for esophagus, and the muscular structure of it, like it is originating and inserting in the same muscle. All these things, right? We have already discussed in muscular system. Mechanism of respiration now. How we breathe and how we respire. Respiration depends upon changes in pressure and volume in the thoracic cavity. Okay. Respiration depends upon changes in pressure and volume in the thoracic cavity. Obviously, if partial pressure develops between these blood vessels and alveoli, then only gaseous exchange will take place. So, respiration will always depend upon changes in pressure and volume in the thoracic cavity. Volume changes lead to pressure changes, which lead to flow of gases to equalize pressure. Okay, if the volume is changing, then automatically pressure will change, and when pressure will change, then this balancing will take place by transferring from higher level, means high pressure, to low pressure. When oxygen will travel from high pressure to low pressure, then a equilibrium balance will take place. So this is the way. Respiration involves two main processes or phases, that are inspiration and expiration. We all know what is inspiration and expiration. Inspiration is the flow of air into lung, means when we are inhaling, and expiration is air leaving the lung. We are expelling out. Now, what is inspiration? Flow of air into lung, inhaling air. When breathe in, the external intercostal muscles between ribs contract, pulling the chest wall up and out. Okay. Now breathe once, deep and long breathing. Inhale the air once and feel how your physiological changes happening inside. Keep your one hand on chest and another hand on, uh, keep your left hand on chest and right hand on abdomen. Now breathe deep and long and feel the changes that are happening. When we are breathing in, means when we are inhaling, then our external intercostal muscles are contracting due to internal pressure, and our chest walls are uh, coming up and out, means our chest walls are elevating. Okay, it is coming, our clavicle bone is coming up. Continue, breathe and feel and listen what I am trying to say. When we are breathing in, our external intercostal muscles are contracting and our chest wall is elevating. It's coming up. Our clavicle is elevating. It's going up. Our which muscle? That one? Uh, Mastoclade, sternocleidomastoid in the neck. That muscle is also contracting. And our abdominal bulge is happening due to contraction in diaphragm. Okay, so all these things are happening at the same time when we are breathing in. So when we are inhaling, our external intercostal muscles are contracting, our chest wall is elevating, our sternocleidomastoid muscle is contracting, our diaphragm is contracting, and our abdomen is bulging out. Okay, now see this picture. When air moving in, then rib cages expand, lungs expand, and when air moves out, then rib cage contracts, lungs compress. And very important muscle, diaphragm. When we are moving in, diaphragm is contracting and going down. Okay. When we are breathing in, our lungs are expanding. Our lungs are bulging up. So when lungs are becoming bigger, then due to pressure of lungs, the diaphragm is getting down. Diaphragm is suppressing. Diaphragm is getting suppressed by lungs when we are inhaling. And when we are exhaling out, then all these muscles are getting relaxed. Diaphragm is getting relaxed, so it is coming up. Our chest walls are getting relaxed, so they are collapsing. They are contracting. Next, the diaphragm muscle below lungs contract and flutters, increasing the size of chest. In case of inhaling, the lungs increase in size, so pressure inside them falls. This causes air to rush in through the nose or mouth. Now, expiration or exhaling the air. The air is leaving the lung. When breathing out, the external intercostal muscles between ribs relax so that the chest walls move in and down. Okay, so when we are breathing out, then the external intercostal muscles are relaxing. So the chest wall is moving down. The diaphragm muscle below the lungs relax and bulges up, reduce the size of chest. The lungs decrease in size, so the pressure inside increases and air is pushed up the trachea and out through the nose or mouth. Okay. Now have you understood all the lines? Is it crystal clear for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now control of respiration. Effective control of respiration normally invalently. Okay. That is Nervous control. Three respiratory control centers known as rhythmicity centers. First one is inspiratory center located on medulla oblongata. Expiratory center located on medulla oblongata. Pneumotaxic center located on pons. Long and deep breaths occur when we are concentrating on breath and we are taking long and deep breaths. Our pons getting activated. Do you people know about medulla, pons, cerebellum?
Parts of the brain.
Yeah, it's part of the brain. Other people know pons, medulla, cerebellum.
Yeah, ma'am, we know they
Okay,
are
no
parts
problem.
of brain.
Yeah, no problem. If you people don't know, then we will get to know about all these in nervous system. But now the thing that we are studying about the nervous control of respiration. Means all our body is getting controlled by nervous system only. Okay, so now we are talking about from where this respiration is being governed. So our respiratory system is being governed from hindbrain. Hindbrain means the backside of brain, which is containing cerebellum, pons, medulla oblongata, all this. Okay, so we will learn all about all this. So inspiratory center is medulla oblongata, located in medulla oblongata. Expiratory center also located on medulla oblongata. Pneumotaxic center, that is located on pons. So here comes yoga. When we are doing pranayam, we are concentrating on our breath. We are voluntarily controlling our breath. We are activating our nervous system through breathing. Now understand the science behind pranayam. It's not complete science, very basic science. We are not going to depth of pranayam. Just very basic one. So when we are breathing voluntarily, we are controlling our breath, activating our nervous system. Which part of our nervous system? That is pons, and this pons will further regulate to our subconscious mind. Okay, thus pranayam is affecting our mental body. Now, chemical control. Two chemosensitive bodies. Carotid body at the base of carotid sinus, aortic body at the base of aorta. Carotid body and aortic bodies are more sensitive to CO2. Okay? CO2, when CO2 increases, stimulation of carotid and aortic body to stimulated expiratory muscles, more of CO2 get exhaled. Okay? These are the chemical stimulations, chemical factors which are helping for breathing or which are responsible for breathing. How they are working? Two chemosensitive bodies are present. Those are carotid body and second one is aortic body. Ca- First, carotid body is present at the base of aortic sinus and aortic body is present at the base of aorta. Carotid body and aortic bodies are more sensitive to CO2. Okay, means when CO2 is getting more in our body, then uh, these sensitive areas become more sensitive. When CO2 increases, the stimulation of aortic body to stimulate expiratory muscles. When our CO2 is getting filled and we are not still now expirating, then these sensitive areas of aortic body and carotid body getting stimulated, and they stimulate the expiratory muscles that please expire out. We are getting suffocated too much. Please expire out. So more of CO2 get exhaled. And I think that is why there is a fact that you can't um, hold your breath till your death. Means you can't hold your breath that much of time that you will die. Means you cannot die by your own holding breath. It's not possible. This is a fact. Mm, if you are holding your breath and you are thinking that I will not take breath anymore, this is not possible. Before dying, you have to take breath. You can't die by holding the breath on your own. Okay, now, capacities and volumes of air in the lungs. Learn about the lung parameters now. At first, tidal volume. What is tidal volume? Amount of air inhaled or exhaled with each breath under resting conditions. Okay? With each breath, how much amount of air we are inhaling and exhaling? That is approx 500 ml. Next is inspiratory reserve volume. Amount of air that can be forcefully inhaled after a normal tidal volume inhalation. Means if we are breathing normally, then when we are breathing forcefully, then how much extra amount of air in spirit is
And your voice is breaking.
we are inhaling from which part my voice is breaking?
Inspiratory volume, ma'am.
Is it
Tidal
clear now?
volume was okay. Inspiratory volume you have to repeat. Yes, now it's better,
Is
ma'am.
it clear now? Still not
If you
clear.
speak, sometimes it's not clear. Sometimes we are able to hear it without any obstruction.
My network is too bad today. My network is too bad today. Too bad. That is why I'm here in the rooftop of my home. Still, it's breaking.
Just repeat inspiratory reserve volume.
Okay. So I have. Okay. The thing is that when we are breathing normally, let's assume that we are approximately breathing 500 ml. Now we are supposed to breathe forcefully. Means when we are breathing forcefully, then the extra amount of air we are breathing, that is inspiratory reserve volume. So let's assume normally we are breathing 500 ml, and when we are forcefully breathing or forcefully breathing, then we are breathing 2000 to 3000 ml. So these 3500 ml is inspiratory reserve volume. Means the extra amount of air we are breathing in. Okay. Are you guys getting it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Means normally we are breathing, and when we are breathing forcefully, then the extra amount of air we are breathing in, that is inspiratory reserve volume, and the normal volume is tidal volume. The forceful reserve volume or inspiratory reserve volume is the
Would there
extra
be
amount of
that much
air
of
when
a
we are.
difference between tidal volume and inspiratory reserve volume, ma'am? Like tidal volume, when we are breathing normally, we just inhale about 500 ml. And when we are breathing
Mhm.
forcefully, would it increase by 1,500 or 2,000?
I'm not getting you. Please repeat.
If we are
No?
breathing forcefully, then it's called inspiratory reserve volume, right, ma'am?
Yes.
So my question was, when we are breathing normally, we are just taking in 500 ml of air,
Hmm.
right? When we are breathing forcefully, it goes up to 3,000 ml. So there's a
Yes.
difference of 2,500 ml. Is
Yes.
there so
Or
much of a difference
approximately
between
2000.
breathing normally and when we breathe forcefully? That was my question. Can we breathe so much? Can we inhale
Yes.
so much
Yes.
of air when we are breathing forcefully?
Exactly. You will be immersed by the full capacity of lungs. Our full capacity of lungs is much, much more than tidal volume. Let's see what's happening. Let's be there. Now, next is inspiratory capacity. The amount of air that can be inspired within maximum effort. Okay, that is inspiratory capacity. So, it's very simple. It's tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume. Okay. So, if tidal volume is 500 and inspiratory reserve volume is 2,000 to 3,000, then the inspiratory capacity is 2,500 to 3,500. It's very simple. Inspiratory capacity is tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume. Now, next, expiratory reserve volume. Amount of air that can be forcefully exhaled after normal tidal volume exhalation. Okay. And what is expiratory reserve volume? Means the amount is almost 1,000 to 1,500 ml. Okay. Means when we are breathing out normally, and after that when we are forcefully breathing out. Just like inspiratory reserve volume, breathing normally and we are forcefully breathing in, that is inspiratory reserve volume, and then breathing out normally, forcefully breathing out, that is expiratory reserve volume. And then next is residual volume. Residual volume is the amount of air remaining in the lungs after a forced exhalation. Means we are exhaling forcefully. After that also, some amount of air is remaining in lungs. And why this air is remaining on lungs? Any of you? Can
Ma'am,
you answer this?
to keep the lungs inflated, probably. Otherwise, if all the air escapes from the lungs, then they become completely deflated.
Yeah. They will collapse. The lungs will collapse without air. So the lungs will be choked and there will be no any uh, there will be no any uh, what we can say chance for life, right? If lungs are getting collapsed, then there is no chance for life anymore. So some amount of air should be there always in lungs for protecting our lungs or preventing our lungs from collapsing. That is why this is known as residual volume. This amount of air is will be always in the lungs. And what is the amount? That is 1500 ml. Now, vital capacity. Vital capacity is maximum amount of air that can be expired after a minimum inspiratory effort. Means minimum inspiration, that is we are already normally doing, that is tidal volume, and tidal volume plus IRV means inspiratory reserve volume plus ERV expiratory reserve volume. Okay, then what is the amount? 500 is tidal volume, 2000 to 3000 is inspiratory reserve volume, and expiratory reserve volume is average 1100. Now, do the calculation. It is 3500 to 4500 ml. This is vital capacity of lungs. That is maximum amount of air that can be expired after a minimum inspiratory effort. Now, next is total lung capacity. You will see here what is the total lung capacity. This is the maximum amount of air in the lungs can hold. That is tidal volume 500, inspiratory reserve volume 2000 to 3000, expiratory reserve volume 1100, and residual volume, that is always remaining in the lungs, 1500. Now add all those, it is 5000 to 6000 ml or 5 to 6 liters. So the capacity of lungs is 5 to 6 liters. And what we breathe? 500 ml only. The capacity of our lungs are 10 to 15 times more than we breathe. So, utilize your lung fully. Your brain will be activated so much more than what you we are seeing. Okay, the what we are means we are just utilizing our lungs 10% only. Rest 90% of our lungs is inactivated. And when we keep means just imagine we are having a very large big bungalow, means we are having a beautiful palace, we are having a very gorgeous beautiful palace, but we are living only in 2 rooms. We are having um, 12 to 15 rooms in that palace, but we are living congested,ly in just using 2 rooms. So rest of the 10 to 12 rooms are just unused, and they are being spoiled by spiders and lizards doing their cobwebs and doing their excretory wastes, and the doors and windows are getting rusted. So after a few years those rooms will be destroyed by the unused or the these cobwebs and these lizards and rusts. All these things will destroy the rooms after a few years. Like that only our lungs are also. We are using 10% of our lungs only. Rest of 90% of lungs are being unused. That is why you should use or you should utilize full capacity of your lung by pranayam. And when we are using the whole palace, then we can live freely, we can bring the standard of our life, and if then also extra places happening or extra place is there, then we can give shelter to those person who are shelterless. So mankind is also being honored. Thus, we can live our life to our greatest. That is why utilize the full capacity of lungs by pranayam, by meditation, so that we can live our life to the fullest. So many parts of brains are directly connected to breathing. So when we are utilizing the whole lungs, when we are breathing through lower lobes of lungs, then directly some portion of brains are getting activated and our memory is getting directly influenced. Okay, now next is the lung curve. Total lung capacity is the area between upper line and lower line. Now, residual volume is 1500 ml. That is the last part. From we are seeing from bottom. At the bottom, there is some residual volume which always be there in the lung, and there is tidal volume that is depicted by black color line. Tidal volume is very less. It is 500 ml only. And sometimes when we are inspirating high or when we are doing forcefully inspiration, then it is touching to the maximum. And when we are completely exhaling, then it is reaching our residual volume. Okay. And what is vital capacity? The vital capacity is between inspiratory reserve volume and tidal volume and expiratory reserve volume, because vital capacity is tidal volume, sorry, total lung capacity minus residual volume. Okay. Uh, okay. Now, gaseous exchange. How gaseous exchange takes place. Is it okay for today, or we should do the rest of the part for next day, or we should complete?
Ma'am, we'll revise. I think this is good.
Okay, no problem. We will continue next day. So, today some question answer session. I have told you yesterday, means I have given you one task. Have you people searched about that question? Or do you remember what I have told you
Yes,
to
yes,
search?
yes, ma'am. There is nitrogen, but nitrogen, when it goes into our body, it doesn't get absorbed by our cells. So it's exhaled.
Yes. And why it happens? Why our cells do not absorb nitrogen?
Because that's not needed by the body. What is used is oxygen.
The blood cells, I don't think so. They don't get what is needed by our body or what is not. Blood cells do not have that kind of brain. They are just governed. They are just binded.
What's your question, ma'am? Can you repeat that once again?
I am just asking why nitrogen do not get absorbed by blood. Why it is only absorbing oxygen?
Not sure, ma'am. Because that's the only gas which is utilized by the body. Nitrogen is not used by the body.
Okay, the utilization is decided by our cells, body cells, right? Not the blood cells. So what happens? Our blood cells containing or our red blood cells containing hemoglobin or heme, and that hemoglobin binds with oxygen. Now, here is a chemical structure that is hemoglobin containing 4 oxygen, and nitrogen is having a different valency. Oxygen is having a different valency. I think this basic knowledge of chemistry you all have. So it is oxygen only which is getting binded with hemoglobin. Structure of
Yes, ma'am.
nitrogen is structure of
Yeah,
nitrogen
the
is
last, the final shell of the oxygen molecule has a tendency to bind, unlike
yes
nitrogen.
because
Nitrogen is an inert gas.
yes I think nitrogen is having nitrogen
It's
inert
two,
gas,
right,
no?
ma'am? It's a noble gas, yes.
Okay, so it is having 6 valency, right? No,
Yeah.
not 6.
Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron. I think nitrogen comes somewhere after 6 and before 10.
Okay, I'm just forgetting this concept. So the thing is that hemoglobin binds with oxygen. So the
Nitrogen is
structure
in
of
the seventh place, man. Nitrogen is in the seventh place in the periodic table. So there are in the outermost shell, I think two, and then outermost shell there are five. Five. There are five electrons on the outermost shell.
yes. So the structure of nitrogen do not allow to bind with hemoglobin.
Yeah.
Okay, that is why it is expelled out. Okay, so you are having test today, right? So we should conclude the class with ending prayer. Sit comfortably, erect your spine, close your eyes, adapt Namaskar Mudra in front of your chest, and do breathing. Feel the breathing, feel your inside physiology, what we have understood today. Feel that physiology inside you. What we have understood about breathing, fully utilize your lung. We are just utilizing only 10%. Fully utilize your lung. Inhale to the fullest. Exhale completely. Try to touch the residual volume. Now, once again, inhale to the fullest. Try to observe which muscles are getting contracted. And exhale completely and feel which muscles are getting relaxed. Now, once again, deep and long inhalation. Try to be more slow. The more slow breathing you will practice, you will be more good observer. Exhale completely. Once again, deep and long inhalation and start the prayer. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Ma kaschit dukha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now rub your palms. Put those palms on your facial muscles. Feel the warmth, feel the energy, and open your eyes with a smile. Thank you.